babe, check this out. Evidently, squirrels only remember where they bury their nuts about 24% of the time. You think it'd be higher than that?
Yeah, you think somebody with their brain 10 times bigger than a squirrel would be able to figure out where their keys are, too.
Wow, that's harsh.
Hey there, guys. I have Nuts from Green Squirrel Games on the table here. And Nuts is a game that involves memory, trying to find some acorns or walnuts or whatever kinds of nuts that your squirrel is hiding amongst all of the other tiles in the game. The player who is able to remember those best is going to win this game. Now, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, that looks an awful lot like paper, like a print and play game, that is because it is a print and play game. All the games from Green Squirrel Games are print and play games, and they are completely free for you to go and print them off and play them right away. In fact, I'm going to pull out my laptop here and show you guys their website. This is greensquirrelgames.com. And you click on games here and it's going to take you to a list of 12. They've got a 13th one coming soon, but 12 different games. In fact, there's Nuts right there where you can print off game pieces, instructions, rules and instructions, and even a box that you can put it all in. And this is all completely free. And a lot of these games are really cool looking. Like, check those boxes out. That's really cool. I will be honest, I have not played all of these games, but the ones that I have played are really cool, and I would highly encourage you to go and check that out. The link to this website is going to be in the description down below in this video, so do check that out. So back to this game though. In Nuts, as I mentioned, you are a squirrel trying to find the different nuts that you have buried. Now this is a 1 to 4 player game, and each player is going to take one of these boxes that have their different tiles in them, and on the bottom of the box it tells you what squirrel you are. So this is the black squirrel, and this box right here is the blue grayish colored squirrel, and we've got a white squirrel and a brown squirrel. And so each player is going to get one of those boxes. You'll dump all your pieces out, you'll mix them up, and you'll put them back into your box, and then you're ready to go. And starting with the first player, you're going to draw a tile from your box at random, and you're going to place it out on the playing area, which is going to become a forest floor after a number of tiles have been played. So this one in particular has just some leaves on it. You don't see any nuts on it, and there's not any other kinds of icons, and so this is just a blank tile. This tile does not have any effect. It is going to have some leaves and such on the back of the tile, which is just for decoration, but each of these tiles are going to look slightly different, as you will see here in a minute. And it's important to remember what your tiles look like that have valuable things on the underside of them. So I'll just play this out here, and then it'll go to the next player. And the next player has to play a tile touching tiles that are already out here from before. So they might do that, and then this player right here will play one, and they might go right there. And this player over here is going to play one, and they don't have to play it on that side. They can play it over here if they would like, and so on and so forth. Now, some of the other tiles are going to have nuts on them, and that's really what you're wanting, because when you find one of your own nuts, that's worth 3 points. So you want to really remember what your tiles look like that have nuts on them. And so this one has a giant red leaf, so I might remember that the one with the giant red leaf has one of my nuts on them, and I would put it right here, let's say. And then it would go around the board again, and when it comes back to me, let's say I draw this one. Now there's a bag of trash on this, and these are ones that are going to be worth negative points if you pull these at the end of the game. Negative 2 points to be exact. And so I want to remember, I don't want to pull this one. I'm going to put it over here next to this player, hoping they might draw it more likely than I would. And again, we go round and round and round until we use all of the tiles in our box, and the forest floor is going to be pretty big at that point. And then one at a time, we will pull these off the board. And I can draw from anywhere, and I remember the big red leaf here was one with my own nut on it, and that gives me 3 points. Now, if perchance I drew one that had someone else's nut on it, say this one right here, I would get 2 points for that. It's their nut. I stole it from them, so they're losing the opportunity to gain 3 points, and I myself am going to gain 2 points. So that's a 5-point swing there. That's pretty nice. And as I've already mentioned, the ones with garbage on them are going to be worth -2 points to whoever pulled that one. And that's pretty much the game. Whoever has the most points is the winner, and that is how you play Nuts. Okay, so here's Sam and I and our 2 oldest playing a 4-player game of Nuts. And we're going to share our thoughts on this game. I'll go first. And, this is just a simple little print and play game. There's not a whole lot to it. And it is a memory game, which is not, one of my favorite kinds of mechanics in games. But that being said, this is a game that obviously works with kids. It's one that they can feel like they can play and do all right in with the adults, with mom and dad. And the theme to this game is kind of really interesting. Being a squirrel and bearing whatever type of nut that you have, and trying to remember where they are, trying not to, make sure that you dig up your own trash or someone else's trash. I don't know. That's kind of a cool idea. Sam, what did you think about this game?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a different theme than we'd ever had before, and I really liked that. I agree. The whole memory game is not my cup of tea typically, but it worked really well for our 6-year-old. And there's not a ton of games that we can play with her. So I thought that was good. It was fun because you got to put out your nuts, your cards, your pieces, and you had to try to remember where they were, which was unique. It wasn't like a typical memory game. You don't know where things are. You just learn as you go. So you could I personally tried to put my nuts next to specific other things so that I would remember where they were.
Right.
So it was very interesting, fun, quick, easy to understand.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of, not necessarily strategy, but a little bit of thought that you want to put into wisely placing where you place so that you can remember exactly which ones yours are that have nuts and which ones don't, and that sort of thing that goes into this. But that's probably the full extent of the again, not really strategy, but strategery, right, that goes into this kind of game. The rest of it is really more so either luck or maybe reading your opponents and kind of getting a read on whether they're placing out ones with nuts or if they're just loosely throwing out trash on the field or whatever. That's all right. That's fun.
Yeah.
But all that being said, this isn't a game that is trying to swing for the fences or anything. This is kind of just a simple little kids game, but it's also one that can kind of be a little filler that can get kind of a good laugh out of people or just a quick little, good time with a memory game. So one other thing I want to say with this is that this game comes from Green Squirrel Games, and they are all about making free print and play games. And you can go to their website and you can print off several different free print and play games that you could just print off on your own printer, cut them out, play them right now. And there's lots of them on there. And this game really kind of showed me the creativity that can kind of exist in print and play games. That you just wouldn't really think was out there.
Yeah, because we've played print and play before, and a lot of the times it's some form of a board and cards. And this was very different from that.
Right. Yeah, this is very creative. This is a unique idea, a unique theme. It's even a unique take on memory, in that you're not just remembering your own cards and materials, but you're having to kind of remember what you think to be other people's materials too. So, but I would highly encourage anyone that's watching this to make sure to check out their website, and we'll include that in the description and the link in the description of the video down below. And check out what other games they have out there, because this one is very interesting and unique, and I can tell you guys that there's a lot more on their website that you really want to check out. So make sure to do that. All right, let's get into our ratings for this game. And, this is just a print and play game. So we're kind of going to kind of grade this on a different scale. This isn't not one that we would say is, again, swinging for the fences or anything like that. I'll go first on a scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. I'm going to give this game probably a 6.5 because I think this is one that the kids really enjoy. This is one that really surprised me for a memory game. And again, as I just said, it really kind of, showed me something that can be unique for print and play, the creativity, and just being able to, print this off, cut it out, and play it. And, I didn't have to go to the store or pay anything for it. I just think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Sam, what would you say for this game?
I'd say a 6.9.
Okay.
I think, for me, it's always going to be ease of understanding, which this one was very easy to understand. It was fairly quick. I would say setup was almost longer than the actual game, even though placing them is part of the game. It's just more of setup as well. And it was very easy for the kids to play, which is always a bonus to me.
Sure. And would this be a game that you would recommend playing with non-gamers?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button to get notifications of all our new content.
All right. I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.